The same faces, different show. It's Euro Roundup time. This one is from the rest of Europe, basically. We're starting with winners, Bayern Munich. This one was sent in by the Haas Kareem, Pato.
Yes, they are top of the Bundesliga for the first time in 20 matches following a 6-0 battering of Wolfsburg. They were the unlucky team this side. This is actually back-to-back massive wins against members of the Bundesliga top 6 following a 5-1 drubbing of Borussia Mönchengladbach last weekend. Now, Lewandowski got 2. He's top of the scoring charts with 17 goals for the season. He hasn't scored fewer than that amount in any campaign since his first with Dortmund. Serge Gnabry, Thomas Müller, Joshua Kimmich and James Rodriguez were the other scorers in Bavaria on Saturday afternoon.
Not bad.
And Frank Ribery had a bit of fun as well. Came on in the 55th minute with the score at 3-0 and proceeded to assist 3 goals.
Yeah, I did
his
see
first
this.
3 assists of the season.
No, he does what he wants, Big Frank.
Well,
he doesn't really, because he's only got 3 assists all season.
His legs don't work anymore, he's very old. Anyway, a truly dominant performance. 20 shots to 4, 60% possession, 88% pass accuracy. Over half the team had over 90%. 7 corners, expected goals of 3.78 to 0.16.
Crushing it, Wolfsburg.
Unbelievable.
0.16 on the expected goals. But you know what? They've actually been on decent form. It's their first defeat in 6. They've won 2 of their last 3. They climbed up to 6th in the hunt for the Europa League, but they did give up that spot on the weekend. Obviously, Bayer Leverkusen picked up a big win, didn't they? So that meant they dropped out. But who really cares about the Europa League race between Wolfsburg and Bayern Leverkusen? So we're going to talk about Borussia Dortmund as well, because BVB also won on the weekend, but did slip to 2nd based on goal difference, I believe that's how it's done in Germany. People are nodding at me, so that's a good sign. They beat Stuttgart 3-1, pretty comfortable this one as well. XG at it is 2.6 to 0.9, but their goal difference is now 33. Obviously, a 10-goal swing in 2 games means that Bayern go to 35. Whoever's calling me here can off Zach Jalab. This was even more remarkable given that earlier in the season, after the 3-2, Bayern's goal difference was just +6, Dortmund's was +21. And now Bayern are ahead on goal difference. Now they do have the big one though, midweek, don't they? They've got to host Liverpool. How do you see that one going, Pato?
I don't know, I mean, they haven't got an away goal, but at home, at the Allianz? I don't know, man. I could see a score draw, actually. I could see them going out on away goals. I could see Liverpool drawing like 2-2.
I think Liverpool are going to turn them over. I think Liverpool might win like 2-0. Ooh, don't know why we're thinking the Champions League scores. This is Euro Roundup. Let's get on to the next big game in Europe. Terrible section. Huge lab.
Over to the losers, we start with a kind of non-football matter, right? This comes from @CursedWizard01, and he brought up that dickhead who hit Jack Grealish during the Birmingham derby.
Yeah, I mean, the second City derby took a serious turn for the worst. Obviously, Villa's captain on the day, academy boy, Jack Grealish was attacked from behind by a spectator. Let's not call him a fan or a supporter, because he is neither. He was a spectator on the day, and that will probably be the last time he's ever allowed in an English football stadium, and rightly so. All we can say is, thankfully, he wasn't carrying a weapon, and the punch was pathetic. Not that that makes it any better, but it was a proper, like, side fist weirdo punch.
Yeah, it was like a hit on the ear.
And no surprise he was wearing a flat cap, the freak. But either way, I'm pretty confident he's going to get a lifetime ban from football stadiums.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe he's in magistrate's court today after being arrested, so he probably will have charges brought against him. Not a good day for the second City derby, but it kind of turned into a good day for Jack Grealish.
Yeah, though he did get a little bit more violence. He scored the winning goal in the 67th minute, but then while celebrating with the fans, one of the stewards had a go at him. Gave him a push, gave him a kick, got escorted away by the police as well.
What is going on? What is going on?
It's not even a big game. It's in the Championship. No one cares. It's between 2 clubs from Birmingham. There is not a big club in Birmingham. Neither one of these sides is the biggest club in Birmingham anymore, because you've got Wolves, who aren't even in Birmingham and yet are the biggest Brummie side. Birmingham football. It's terrible. And Jack Grealish, I cannot wait for him to move on from Aston Villa. He deserves a move to the Premier League. He's got 4 goals, 4 assists in 23 games so far this season. Really good underlying numbers. He's actually featured in a top 10 I wrote last week, which was about players your side should buy from the Championship. 2.3 shots a game, 2.3 key passes, 1.8 dribbles. He gets fouled nearly 5 times a match, and that's only by other players, not by pitch invaders.
Expected punches now 1 per 90 as well.
Yeah, exactly. 1 fight, 1 loss for Jack Grealish. But anyway, very similar numbers to the numbers we saw from James Maddison in the Championship, actually, and he's having a sensational season in the Prem. So I think that Grealish is going to move on, and ultimately, the best revenge is living well. So when Grealish is earning 100k a week, not at Spurs, they can't pay 100k a week, but when he's earning good money in the Premier League, and this guy isn't allowed to go and watch Birmingham games anymore, we'll know who the winner was.
Yes.
Next up in our winners, we have an unusual entry. We have Lille. This comes from @Lafrochot. What happened to Lille?
Well,
why do we care about Lille?
Well,
why are they here?
I tell you why, because we don't talk about them ever. I think we've talked about them once on a Continental Club, and they are second in League, and they are flying. They're 7 points clear of third place Lyon, who half of world football wants to buy half of their squad.
Yeah.
And they are absolutely fine. They beat Saint Etienne 1-0 on Sunday, thanks to a goal from star man Nicolas Pepe, who has been making headlines all season. Obviously, got the winner in the 87th minute. That's his 17th league goal of the season. He is having an outrageous campaign, but it all went wrong for Saint Etienne really in added time. Wabi Kazri, remember the name? Sunderland hero.
He's having an incredible season.
Yeah, Sunderland hero was sent off straight red for a foul on Loic Remy, then Matteo Debuchy, another one. Another Premier League legend in some people's eyes. I know certainly in Arsenal fans' eyes, was also sent off. But this was a pretty dominant performance by Lille. They had 14 shots, they had 8 on target. Saint Etienne managing just a paltry 1 on target. But despite all of the focus which has been on Nicolas Pepe all season, the defence has been brilliant for Lille so far this season. They've conceded just 23 goals in 28 games. That's the second best defence in the league after PSG, who are obviously blowing everybody apart. Unsurprisingly, completely unsurprisingly. But Lille are unbeaten in the league since December. They've only lost 1 of 12 games in 2019, and they've got one of Europe's most in-demand players in the squad. A brilliant result and a brilliant team.
Yeah, Nicolas Pepe has to be the biggest story in northern France this season. The Ivorian has now been involved in 25 league goals. That's
crazy.
1 every 100 minutes. Only Kylian Mbappe in Ligue 1 has been involved in more. Pepe ranks second to Mbappe for XG and third in the division for expected assists behind Memphis Depay and Neymar.
Not bad company, is it?
It's pretty amazing stuff. He's got 8 assists. Lille have scored 45 league goals. That's the third best in the division behind Lyon and PSG. And Pepe has scored or assisted 56%.
It's not bad, is it? I mean, it's not a bad record to have.
He looks like a superstar. He's obviously only 23 years old. Been linked so far this season with Man United, with Arsenal, with PSG, with Barcelona. But now it seems like he's off to Bayern Munich. Le Disport and beIN Sports have reported that the German Giants are close to finalising a €50 million deal, which actually, given his output, if he can maintain that, and he probably can go into such a dominant side in the Bundesliga, you've got to imagine that that's pretty good money.
Yeah, they're shopping in France a lot, aren't they? Picking up Tolisso last season, now Nicolas Pepe as well. I think this will be a decent move. I think they need wingers. I think they're probably going to let Kingsley Coman go in the summer. I've read a few reports that they've just had enough of his injuries, and obviously Robin and Ribery look set to leave as well. So they might sign 2 or 3 wingers this summer, and if Pepe's one of them, at €50 million, it's a bargain.
Yeah, I think he would be exactly right for them. Loads of pace, big shot numbers, creative too. Yeah, but what do you guys think? Is he what Bayern Munich need? If you're a Bayern fan, let us know in the comments below.
Our final losers of the day come from Spain. It's Real Sociedad. This was sent in by Andre SB.
Yeah, and Sociedad looked like they were going to put together a run, maybe challenge for some European football next year, but then lost 5-2 to Sevilla.
Sevilla.
Well, their attack, though, is still probably the second best in the league, I'd say, after Barcelona, and they can just outscore you. You know, the first half of this game, very, very tight. Went in at 1-1. Sarabia had opened the scoring, and then Oyarzabal had equalised for the San Sebastian side. But Ben Yedder had an unbelievable second half. Like Raheem Sterling, 13 minutes was all it took for him to net a hat-trick and secured Sevilla's first league win since the end of January. Wasn't the only player on the pitch to score a hat-trick, technically. Oyarzabal scored twice for Sociedad and got an own goal as well. The rare hat-trick at both ends of the pitch. Anyway, a win for Sociedad would have seen them leapfrog Sevilla, but now they find themselves 5 points off 6th, with Real Betis and Valencia between them and Sevilla. Very poor defensively. As a team, they won just 14 of the 29 tackles they attempted. They had just 9 shots going forward. So actually, I would argue that on the day, they were a little bit lucky to only lose by 3 clear goals.
Yeah, and Sevilla really needed this to kickstart their season again. They started really well, but they've fallen off badly. It's their first win in 6 league matches. And like you said, it ended up being pretty comfortable. The XG 2.9 compared to just 1.2 for their opponents. And it keeps them in the hunt for that European spot, doesn't it? Just 1 point off Alaves and 5 off Getafe in 4th. But you mentioned him there, Ben Yedder. Absolutely flying. He's up to 15 goals, ranking 4th in La Liga this season, and has 8 goals and an assist, spit it out Tomlinson, in his last 8 appearances. So he has been the key man, really, given that the likes of Andre Silva, was it, who started really well as well for that Sevilla side. So he is just about keeping them head above water. Sevilla now travel to the Czech Republic. They take on Slavia Prague in the Europa League midweek. That was 2-2 in the first leg. I'm really struggling with this section. I can't speak properly, I don't think. I'm falling apart. But for me, that's probably their best hope for Champions League football.
Well, winning the Europa?
Winning the Europa. I think there's a big shot at it.
They've got a shout for being the best team in the Europa as well.
I think between them and if you turn it around against Rennes, I think
Napoli.
Yeah, Napoli had a great result against Salzburg midweek. That's a fantastic result. But yeah, Sevilla have a shout for winning the Europa League. I think that might well be their best way to get in the Champions League next. So let's just get off this section. I can't even speak properly. What a f***ing mess, I apologise.
Now it's time for Star of the Week, and it's Christoph Piontek. Obviously, we talked about him before. This from @Keith, SI 902 95573. Bank account number, full thing.
Yeah, time for me to pretend I know more about European football. This guy is flying over in Serie A, isn't he? Obviously now the top scorer for Genoa and AC Milan, the gunslinger. His 6th Serie A goal for the Rossoneri proved to be the winner. A little stabber in the 6-yard box, just about got a toe to it. Clinging on to 3rd spot now, Milan, a point clear of rivals Inter. That's now 10 games unbeaten, though, for Gennaro Gattuso's boys. They're on course for their highest points tally in 6 years, which would be really impressive.
Is that since Allegri left?
I think it might be 2012-13, potentially post Allegri. That's 8 goals in all competitions for Piontek since his £35 million move. And he is running about as hot as it's physically possible to before burning to a crisp.
Yeah, but his underlying numbers are still pretty solid. And in this game, AC Milan were dominant. 1.8 expected goals to 0.2. Lucas Biglia as well, doing the hard yards in midfield. Since returning from injury, probably his best performance. 91% pass accuracy, 1 dribble, 3 tackles, 1, and got a goal from his only shot. But Piontek this season, 27 goals in all comps at 2 different clubs.
And the best celebration in world football right now.
Yeah, and people are saying he's the best striker at Milan since Shevchenko.
I think people got to relax.
I think people should probably remember Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, he did play there for a little bit.
He was pretty good. But anyway, it looks like Poland are set after Lewandowski decides to take international retirement, which you imagine might come in the near future.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. Big Rob and Big Christoph up front. What a partnership. 4-4-2. We're playing 4-4-2.
Bob and Chris up front.
Class.
For Poland. Anyway, Piontek, you're in here for what I assume is about the 15th time this season.
Hopefully. So that's it for this episode of Euro Roundup. Pato, what did we talk about on winners and losers?
Oh, Arsenal beating Man United. Arsenal making the top 4. Man United not making the top 4.
Ollie's at the wheel. Yeah, go and watch that. It's on live on Football Daily now. Bye.
Bye.